What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Virzi Effect podcast show. My name is Paul Virzi, and you guys are listening to episode 526. And on this episode, I have a guest who's coming back for a second time because we had so much fun the first time, and all of your comments were saying it was one of the best Virzi Effect guests ever. We had such a good time. He is back now. You guys know him from so many amazing acting roles. He's a lunatic with cars, which I have to get into. I didn't even realize how much cars. Hysterical stand-up comedy specials and clips, which you guys seen. The hilarious Adam Ferrara is here. Ferrara.
Oh, yes, you're right, my friend. Good to see you again. And you've done 500 and how many episodes?
So before pandemic and before I had the studio, I would just do it. I would just do audio. And then, and since the pandemic, the last 2 years now, we've been doing it. So I've added up all of the audio and all of the video, and it's 500, and it's been doing this for forever. So
God bless you, man. And the studio looks great. I look like I'm in a hostage video. I apologize. I should be blinking. Help! They're making me say this. Help me.
You used to have that thing that's on the steps, right?
Yeah, I used to. That's my little studio at the house. Yeah, the Abbey Road stuff.
Yes.
But I'm in Florida now. I'm doing a benefit, a cancer benefit. They put me up at this condo right on the harbor. I wanted to show. Look at this. Look at the water.
Oh wow.
It's gorgeous. And I was gonna do it like that so I could show you this, but then you can't see me. So But thanks for having me on, my friend. I appreciate it. It's good to see you again. And I did have so much fun last time. I got a lot of nice emails, and people loved your episode on my podcast. So thank you for doing that.
Yes. No. It's funny. There's something about New York guys, neighborhood guys. There's something about like you and me. I feel like you and me are the type of guy, and it kind of drives my wife nuts a little bit, but I'll talk to a stranger. I'll go get a cup of coffee. And as I'm making the coffee or putting whatever in the coffee, and there's some guy that's in his 70s, I'll talk to that guy I'll end up becoming friends. I'll just talk to that guy. Hey, hi, everything. Oh, tell me about all the stupid sayings. Oh, another day you're alive. And I go with it. Because I'm like, you know what? The older I get, I'm starting to like those little things. I'm starting to like that stupid little saying of like, oh, well, wait till your wife does this, and you kind of laugh. I embrace that.
Well, because now I think it's because we have a little bit of life experience, so we know what it means. Like I used to hear my father go like this, like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, that was the big one when we realized there's nothing we can do. Don't get angry about it. I go, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to change this. We're going to change the world. You guys go change the world. I'll be over here. The game's on. Good. Go kill.
And the funniest thing about your dad going, what are you going to do? Or people saying it is what it is, or people going, that's life. Even though those are 1 or 2 word phrases, it means everything, how powerful it is.
Yeah, because now you have the awareness. Hold on, I got to turn off the little horse calling him. Yeah, because you have the awareness, you have the life experience now. You're like, oh, that's what it means. It means you're full of shit. You're not going to change anything except this. Here's the thing that I've been messing with just to make myself feel better. There's like surrender, which I got a hard problem with, but acceptance I can do, because acceptance is like, what are you going to do? That's the way it is. Surrender is, I'm not giving up, you son of a bitch, Right. But it's the same thing. It's accepting what is and what can you make out of it.
Yeah, it's funny how like pride and ego, it's almost impossible for me to let my wife, like if my wife says the last word, if it's like a dig, I can walk away, but as I'm walking to the bedroom and I hear her mutter something, I can just let her mutter, but as I'm going, I'm like, what are you saying? I need to be the dick to do it. It's crazy, actually. It's lunacy.
You know what I found myself doing? I found this in an argument with my wife. At some point, do you ever get an awareness in an argument that, oh, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
And I got to double down. I'm like, I'll apologize tomorrow, Paulie, but I'm winning this thing today. I'm going to raise my voice and ride this out.
Oh, that's so funny. Like, yeah, you have like all of a sudden you have this epiphany where you go, oh no, I'm definitely not right here. This is.
Yeah. And we both know it.
We both know it.
We we both know what she just did is going to be better for us in the long run. And it brings a little more joy and happy and love into our lives right now. I'll tell you what happened. My birthday was a couple weeks ago. I'm on the road. I come back from the road. There's my wife waiting for me at the door. Right away, something's up. Right. Usually she's like, take your shoes off. Don't walk in here and shower because you got airplane crud on you. Okay. But now she's waiting for me at the door. I'm like, So it's my birthday. She's like, I want you to come in. Now look. Right. And that's the way my wife sounds in my head. And there's a little puppy there. She said, in honor of your birthday, we have this dog and I named it Lulu after your mother. And I'm like, you really don't want me to yell. You named it after my mother because she's like, I know she's thinking with her sister. He won't yell at his mother. Name the dog Lulu. But here's what it turns out. She was texting me she was just texting me pictures of the dog, right? So I said, well, that's a nice dog. That's a cute dog. Well, I didn't know we were shopping for a dog. I didn't know our one dog needed another dog. I went, well, that's a nice dog. She went, well, you picked it out. I go, when did I pick it out?
Oh, she bamboozled you. Yeah.
It's wife shit. But I know now my other dog is happy. My wife is happy. I saw the dogs playing. My heart gets bigger. But I had to yell because in my head, I yelled. In my head, I caught myself. I went, don't say anything. Look how happy everyone is.
Yeah.
Don't. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if it's funny how, like, if a woman says something like, oh my God, did you see that couch that means you're getting a new couch. That means like if a guy goes, hey, do you think we should? And a woman just goes, nah. And then all of a sudden it's shut down. Oh, women do it stealthily. They have the little thing like, oh, the neighbors that downstairs, they refinished. All of a sudden, you don't even know your downstairs is getting refinished. Yeah, yeah. But they do it smart. They do it. Yeah,
and then she'll say, then my wife will say this, well, you liked what the neighbors did, didn't you? In their house. I like going up. I could go over and visit the neighbors when I feel like, I need to see that again. I'll go over there. We don't have to do it here.
Yeah. Oh, man. So let me ask you a question. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk to you about on this one. Okay. I want to talk to you about cars. You have amazing taste in cars. I love all the cars, but this is what I wanted to ask you about because I think that this is something the listeners want to know.
Yeah.
Me and you are similar in ways where I bump into you. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's a hug. How you doing? We laugh. It's a good time. You're easygoing. I'm easygoing. We live life knowing the sadness of life. So because of that, we live the way we live, right? I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but I look at it like this. We're all going someplace someday. Yeah. And if that's the case, I'm going to enjoy my life, my family. I'm going to be grateful for the things that I have and do that. And I feel like just in the times I've, connected with you, spoke to you, in green rooms, on podcasts, you're the same way. But that doesn't mean we don't have or I'll speak for myself. My sometimes deep, sad, laying around, thinking about things, the weighing things, and then trying to get out of that sometimes, and now learning how to nip that in the bud. Do you deal with, Adam, and without getting too heavy, because I know everybody has their shit.
Sure.
But do you deal with and have times where you're maybe not the happy self you want to be, where you're kind of laying there and you're going, man, like, how do I get out of it? Do you have tricks to get out of it? Or is this something where you just ride out the couple of days and you know that you'll come back from it? Or, I mean, do you deal with any kind of depression or anxiety at all? Or
every fucking day? Are you kidding me? I write that. I wake up in the haunted house. That's where I wake up. I'm laying in bed. There's the ghosts. I'm on this haunted house and I got to go walk through the haunted house that my thoughts generate to get to the coffee to load up on caffeine. Because as soon as the caffeine kicks in, I'm like, all right. Now
then the ghosts go away.
They go away. They'll be back. The sons of bitches will be back. They know where I live and they know how to get me. Yeah. But I wake up. I don't wake up refreshed. I wake up. I think my subconscious. Here's the thing about dealing with yourself. You know where your monsters are, so the subconscious knows what's going to fucking scare you and how it manifests. So in answer to your question, you have tricks every day to deal with the mind. I know when I get up, I'm going to deal with that fear, that anxiety that I have. And on that walk to the kitchen, I actually wrote down, okay, if I know I'm going to deal with this, I wrote down what does success look like to start me thinking about that. And what I came up with was the amount of time I stay in it. Can't make it go away.
Right.
But if I stay in it a shorter time every day, then that's success, and that keeps the momentum. It's like I did an episode of my podcast, and Mark Stern is on the podcast with me, said he gets up every morning, makes his bed because some Marine captain said that's the first thing you do to start your days. You make your bed because you've accomplished something.
Yeah.
And that momentum will carry you to the next thing. So if we're dealing with depression and anxiety, which I do, how are you going to deal with it? Little fucking victories. That's all we can do. And it's not going to go away. I mean, I got friends of mine. I actually wrote about it. I got friends of mine. I got a buddy of mine who's a Christian dude. And he's like, well, just think to yourself, what would Jesus do? I'm like, the exact fucking opposite of what I would do. That's why he's Jesus. You know, that doesn't help. That doesn't help.
No.
They were nailing him up. He was like, forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. I would be like, do you know who my fucking father is? I'm coming back in 3 days and kicking everybody's ass. I mean, I don't. So,
oh, dude, I'm Sicilian. As I do, like, you're all dead. Your family's dead. Everybody's dead. Yeah, yeah.
Dead, you Roman bastards. Put a rock. You think that rock is going to stop me? All right. Remember the flood? What makes you think that ain't going to happen again?
Yeah, I love how people just say things like, what would Jesus do? As if you had that capacity.
Yeah. But and culturally is the same thing, Paulie. We got the same. Yeah. I go from 0 to homicide in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, and I know it's wrong, and I work on that impulse control. Yeah. But that's what I saw. My dad was always worried about money, making everything happen, and he would yell to get what he wants. That's why when I'm in the argument, I'm like, I got to yell. I'm wrong. I have to cover up, you know, whatever it is.
Right.
So, those impulse conditions are what we have. So working on finding out about yourself, about how the depression, when it hits, get yourself out of it. It's up to you to get yourself out of it.
And that's kind of what I want to talk about, because a lot of people that listen to the podcast know about what I went through years ago, how I deal with it. And I was very open and vocal about it, and it helped people. But there's a couple of people that I talk to about having depression and anxiety, and the people that are successful and move forward and get past it kind of, you know, basically are saying what you're saying. They reiterate, they're basically saying, try to find the signs. Cause what I know signs when it's coming. Mm-hmm. I know how I feel. I triggers. That's what I should say. I know triggers that are going to start to make me feel a certain way. Somebody said, nip it in the bud. You're saying, you know, minimize it. I watched this guy speak about it, and he goes, listen, he goes, when my family members are down and sad, he goes, if my daughter gets sad, he goes, I'm going to give her 5 minutes to really take in the sadness. After that 5 minutes, that's it. He's like, I'm going to let her feel that, but you can't fall into this thing where all of a sudden it's like quicksand, and you just can't, you wallow in it, and you're just sitting there. It's like, no. You need to grab a stick, pull yourself out of the quicksand, and do everything, and then go on. And I've noticed that. So anybody listening to this, if you get like that, nip it in the bud, do something. Another thing is like, go for a run or a jog. Yeah. Or like any kind of thing that's positive that just gets you out of that shit. Yeah. And you know, it's funny. People said this about me, and I know they've said it about you, where it's like, well, those guys are so happy and easy going. Like, I wouldn't picture that. And it's like, oh, no.
No. That's the 45 minutes on stage. That's happy Adam. Yeah. Here's the other thing that helped me about nipping it in the bud is also, when it hits you, change your perspective of it. Well, I'm trying, this is new to me now, but what can I make out of this? Here it is again, is an opportunity to face myself. Because that's what growth, I think, is. It's not making this shit go away and it doesn't happen anymore. It's, I'm looking at it in the eye. What can I get out of it? Here it is again. What do I got to learn from being in this shit again? And what you learn is you don't want to be in this shit again.
Right. You don't want to be, you don't want any part of it.
I'm conditioned to it. It's like having a dog that farts. You don't like it, but you don't get rid of the dog.
Some people do, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you don't get rid of the dog. You just
No,
go,
you
what was
don't.
that? Ats that it'll be gone in a minute. So it's like clouds come, clouds go, smells come, smells go. Your bullshit comes, your bullshit goes. The more energy you give to your bullshit, you can't deny it's there, because
Right.
that's just pushing it away and shoving it around. You know that, but no one addresses feel. I mean, I'm pretty sure we grew up the same ways. You don't address your feelings in the family. This is shit we have to learn on our own.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I saw that. Did you see that clip of Tom Hanks talking to all those actors?
No. Which one?
Tom Hanks is sitting down at a table, and it's like monsters. And then there are some newer. It's like Hanks, De Niro, Pacino, Shia LaBeouf, this one, that one. There's just a group of actors. And Tom Hanks goes, "This too shall pass." He goes,
Yeah.
so you're on top of the world and everything is good. This too shall pass. Now you're down in the dumps. This too shall. All of those things that you think are, and I also think people with depression and anxiety, it's bigger and greater in their head than in reality. I remember talking to a therapist, and a therapist goes like, "Yeah, you have OCD and you're worried about it. It's not as, to you, it's a few things in your mind."
Yeah.
And no. In reality, it's a few things in your mind you could let go. To you, it's this like debilitating
life and death. You're catastrophizing.
Yeah, it's like this debilitating thing. And I'm realizing, I'm going, wait a minute. We're all going to be, and I know it's a comedy podcast. We're all going to be.
We're all going to die. Buy our t-shirts, The Virzi Effect, on sale now.
No, but if you know what, you're going to be dead for eternity whenever that happens. While you're here, man, get all of it. It's like hitting a home run. If I hit a home run, okay, I'll be happy that it just goes over the fence, but I want all of it. I want to fucking, no question. The thing is in the upper deck. Like, and that's, so anybody listening to this, man, don't think that your positive, happy friends around you or the people that are easygoing don't go through that. I just think people handle it and deal with it differently, which is fine. And it's okay.
But this too shall pass with all those positive people around there. Don't put so much value and emotional safety in achievement, because it's not.
You just said something. I mean, this is why I love you. Okay. I was talking to somebody about this, and somebody very close to me, very near and dear to my heart. And we were just talking about things and success and movement. And I said something, I go, I can't be around. You just nailed it, Adam. I can't be around anybody that is like a naysayer. I can't be around these negative people. I can't be around these people that, because of their projections of their fears, because of either however, unfortunately, however they grew up with their mother and father, but around people that are like, well, that's never going to happen. Yeah, well, that's so expensive. Or, oh, well, I want to be a millionaire one day, but that's not going to happen. And like, how are you going to do that? And I remember Jay-Z, man, I always post this thing Jay-Z put. I'll send it to you. He was talking to Angie Martinez on Hot 97 years ago. But every time I see it, I put it on my Instagram story where he goes, people are like, well, you can't do that. And he goes, no, you can't. He goes like, he said that like his uncle would project his fears to him. So his uncle's like, how are you going to sell 1 million? How are you going to, you can't. And he goes, my uncle didn't mean it with like anger or malice. He meant it because he was so afraid because he couldn't imagine it. But the point is, I remember my mother and grandmother would say, show me who your friends are. Show me who you're hanging out with. Oh, guess what? That kid's a fucking loser. That kid's doing drugs. And I hear from other parents that he's drinking, and that kid's, flunking out and wants to drop out, and you're hanging out with that kid. So the people that are around you, man, like if you really listen to, and I've had dear friends, Adam, I'm sure you, I've had dear friends talk, and I'm kind of looking at them going like, in my mind, I'm going, oh, that's why you're in that position. That's why you're not ascending. You're not ascending because in your mind, either the lack of confidence you have in yourself or you just don't believe it. But either way, that can't be in my circle, man. So when you said the people around you and the positivity, I'm around people that are like, hey, look, this one guy goes, you don't say I can't in my house. You say, how can I?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's real good.
That's good. Yeah. It's also there's fear, and there's also unconsciously, what role did you play in the family? I got a couple of friends of mine that are younger brothers. Everyone thinks I'm the youngest because I'm a comic, and I needed to get the attention. I'm not. I'm the oldest. You know. So
of how many? Of how many are you?
Two. I got two younger brothers.
Okay.
And I come from a long line of carpenters, guys who worked with their hands, construction workers. You know, so, but I didn't have the mechanical ability. So I was always less than in the family. But when I stepped out to do this, the whole world opened up for me.
Right.
Because I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. But I still carry, and I have to be vigilant about realizing that I would hold myself back to keep my place in the family because I thought that's the role I had to play. There's a psychological condition, and the name escapes me, is you never go past your father because that's disrespectful. But your father wants you to achieve, you know?
Right.
So you got to figure out what the fuck is holding you back. You know?
Yeah. No,
a lot of people don't know what's holding them back. And they say that because they're conditioned. You're conditioned now to see it and realize it doesn't serve you. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Right. And it took me a long time because when you grow up, I can't blame somebody that if your household is, you know, I know, you know, people that have grown up in households where it was like, you would even be, people would even see somebody succeed, and their excuse would be when they see them succeed and they're not doing anything in their life, they would go, yeah, but at what cost? What are they happy? Yeah, they are fucking happy.
Guess what? They're fucking happy.
Yeah. Are they really happy? They may have a mansion and a Ferrari. Are they happy? Yeah, they might be. They might. Yeah. They might be.
Guess what? You don't have it and you're not happy. At what cost do you stay a miserable bastard?
Right. You're not happy and don't have those things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, no, it really is true. And now we'll transition to this. Speaking of Ferraris,
right.
You are a car. I know the show is Top Gear, correct?
Top Gear. Yeah, it was fun. I love cars. In fact, I just drove the CT, the CT5, the Blackwing, the Cadillac. 668 horsepower. I think it's supercharged.
Wait a minute. Did you post that? Did you just post something about that? Was something on your social media?
I put something up on the social media when I was driving around. It was fun. It was fun as hell, that car.
I saw that car and it was beautiful. Now, let me ask you this, and this may make you cringe. And I hope it doesn't, but
you got a Lexus.
So I have a Lexus ES 350. And
nice
oh, dude. And you know what? When I go down to the city, it floats on the highway.
Yes.
It's an incredible car. Now I was in a Tesla.
Okay.
And my butt Giannis, you know Giannis.
I know Giannis, yeah.
We're at the stand and Giannis drives down the Tesla and he goes, hey, you want to drive this puppy home? And it was like, you know, midnight, 1 a.m.
Sure.
Roads are kind of empty. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, dude, I'm going to tell you right now. He goes, this thing, he goes, when you punch this thing, he goes, and when it, so we go on the highway and he goes, go ahead. He goes, go ahead. Dude, Adam, and I know you're a speed nut.
Yeah.
I hit this thing and he goes back like Frank Drebin in The Naked Gun. He goes back and it was like, and I'm going like, it was like when the roller coaster, it was so powerful and intense. And I'm going, holy shit. And I remember people like, I know Ben Bailey had one. He goes, the fastest thing I ever drove. And I talked to other friends going, these things could beat sports cars. And I'm going, but really how, if it doesn't have, I didn't understand what it could do. So I was looking at a Tesla and then somebody at Lexus goes, dude, wait till 23, 24, because Lexus is going to have that. But I want to ask you, as a car guy, is it heartbreaking to you to, you know, with the no gas and the engine and this, or do you just love cars that if electric goes to another place, you'll get into that as well? Or are you one of those that's going to hang on to the last second?
It's the next thing. Okay. I'll tell you, it's the next thing. And to say like, well, to not embrace change, you're going to be a miserable at what cost? That's the guy you're going to be.
Adapt or die, right? Yeah.
That's it. The survival is who can adapt, not the strongest, not the smartest. It's like, I will tell you things that I will miss that I have missed is the gear knob, the gear shift. It's like, I hate the puck. The cops have the puck. I don't want to shift with a urinal cake. You know?
Right. You want to drive the car.
I want, that's fun. But the car you drove, the Tesla, it's instant torque. That's why you're off the line. It's shooting right out of it because all the power is getting to the ground. What the traditional cars, I raced Alexa in I forget what car I was in. We were on the show. Tanner had a Lexus, and off the line, he's gone, but he can't sustain it. So I would catch him. I would catch him in the internal combustion motor because they just don't have long legs.
Wait, wait a minute. He was in a Tesla, you're saying?
He was in a Tesla. Yeah, he was in the I forget which one it was, but he took me off the line, and then I caught him in whatever I was driving.
So okay, so with the distance, you got him.
Yeah, so you get him. But the in answer to your question is, it's exciting.
Yeah,
you can get. There's a car. The Lucid Air is coming out. It's 1,100 horsepower. It's
it's like, who needs? I felt what 500. I felt what. Yeah.
Yeah, that car comes with a coffin.
Yeah,
you're gonna need this.
11. I mean, I've been in 500 horsepower and couldn't believe the speed.
Yes, I was in 1,000 horsepower. The Richard Petty Challenger.
Wow.
On a desert. You can't use all that power. It's just like, I was just with Ben Collins, who was the Stig. If any guys watch Top Gear, it was an English show, and there was this race car driver that never spoke. You never saw his face. You just saw him in the fire suit and the helmet. And his job was to take the cars around the track, because it was the same driver. The cars we would know how the cars did. So that it wasn't driver error or driver experience. It was based on the cars. Anyway, there was a big secret. I had him on the show. He took me down to this track in Arizona called Radford Racing School. Ann Amstead, my friend Ann Amstead owns it, and put me in an 800 horsepower Hellcat, a Dodge Hellcat, and just threw me around. We did black belt donuts, and we did figure eights and stuff, and we did all that stuff. But all that power, you can't get it to the ground. You know, it's just like, it's amazing to have, but you can't get it to the ground. But you can buy it bone stock. You can walk in there and buy that kind of car.
Now, so do you know about, like, I think there's the Polar, Lucid. Wait, so there's another. Yeah, what are the companies?
There's a Rivian. It's got the Rivian truck, and the electric stuff that GM is doing, and BMW. You know, everyone's got to have them, and it's where we're going. GM said we're going to stop making internal combustion engines in 2030, 2035. It's here.
Oh, so it's here.
They're doing the same thing with cigarettes. Gas is $5 a gallon in California.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, they did it with cigarettes. They taxed the hell out of it. And okay, this is coming. What can we make out of it? So in answer to your question, I still like, I grew up with horsepower. I grew up with the smell and the exhaust. I grew up with the rumble and the sound, the burble and the pop of the exhaust, and and all the power. You know, I grew up when your girlfriend breaks up with you, fine, and you do a burnout. You know, that's really, I'm express myself through this rear wheel drive. You know, that's the way I grew up.
I remember those bubbling, man.
Yeah. Well, you really got, what we used to do in our neighborhood? If you really liked the girl, you put her name on the passenger door. Look at this.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Of course, I had a 1981 Dodge Aries K. That was my car. Paul, that car was crap with a K. It was so bad. My grandfather passed away, and I got the car, and my grandmother overcharged me. But I got the car because my car I had before that was a 1970 Coupe de Ville that my father bought for my mother. And she flicked the cigarette out the window and burnt the back seat out. So we turned it into a plumbing truck. And that was the car I got.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
My grandfather would always get these cars. They were never really, like, my dad would go, why'd you buy a lemon? He had a Chrysler New Yorker.
Yeah, big. Oh, that's a city block long.
But it was the one that talked to you, but like didn't talk good. Like it would just be like, the seat belt is, and the car talks, everybody. The car's talking.
He's all excited.
Yeah. But I remember those, like, you remember those Horizon? Remember the Horizon?
Yeah, Plymouth Horizon.
It was like a terrible hatchback.
Terrible.
And all, like, and so unsafe. If you look now, you're like, this is like a go-kart at a derby.
Yeah, my father. There was never cup holders. There was you would open up the glove compartment. There was round circles on the inside lid where the idea of a cup holder would go, and I was the cup holder. I would sit in and hold my father's coffee as he's smoking a Lucky Strike with the window up. So I'm sitting there being smoked like a ham, holding his friggin' coffee. What was cool was, remember the armrests in the back, those big pillow-like armrests?
Yeah.
Me and my brothers were so small, we could lay in the back seat. My father had this old Cadillac. We'd lay in the back seat, put our heads on the armrest, and we'd drive home, and you would make believe you were asleep, so Pop would carry you in your pajamas.
Oh, that's great. Oh man, you're bringing back memories. What's the fastest car I guess 2 questions. What's the fastest you've ever been in a car? What's the fastest you ever went driving a car? And what's the fastest car you've ever been in?
Okay, the fastest car, I was in the original 66 GT40 race car. I don't know what the top end speed of that. But the fastest I've ever gone was 188.
Wow.
Yeah, in a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta. And it's a 212 mile an hour car. That's where it tops out at 212. I've never gone 200 miles an hour. I wanted to, but here's the thing, Paulie, when you're doing that at 140, 130, 140 miles an hour, the car will get light. You can feel the air going and you can feel it. It's getting light, right? So you got to just stay here. Now on Top Gear, it's not just a straight speed run we're doing. We're talking to the cameras. There's a lot of shit going on. And if you get a speed wobble at that, you know, oh, what was, you don't get that, what was that out? You go, what was, and you're dead. So I'm talking to the camera. I'm doing 188. Last time I looked, that was about 188. And I'm talking to the camera, and I felt my ass felt a little speed wobble. You know, it could be a cross breeze. It could be some kind. I wasn't on
now, when you say that, you mean a little bit of a fishtail?
A little bit of a, you know, what was that? So if you correct with your speeding at that speed, if you correct, you know, you're gone.
Yeah,
these cars are unforgiving. So I went, that's fast enough, you know. So I went 188 was the fastest I've ever gone. And it's, although I got my drag race license because we did an episode of the Great Lakes Dragway where we had to actually get licensed to drive drag cars. And what happens, I had a banged up shoulder. So I didn't get to, part of the gag in the show was 2 of you get to compete, right? So I didn't win the thing to get to compete, but I had to go to drag race school. And when you hit that, it's a trans brake, it's called. There's no gas pedal. In other words, the engine revs up, you release it, and the car just goes. This was a fucking professional drag racing car I was in. Paul, the edges got fuzzy like the Millennium Falcon.
What?
You were just shot at
in
it.
Like in 2 seconds, in a second.
Just boom. It was just boom. So
you just hit light speed.
Yeah. And but I had to go to the training, you know, so I went through the training to do that. So that, I don't know how fast I went in that car because it was only, you know, a quarter mile, but the fastest sustained one I remember driving myself and talking in a regular normal Ferrari was 188.
Was that nauseating? Like, was it like,
no, it's terrifying. It's exciting. I said on the show, it's like being aroused at knife point. It's like you're excited, but you could fucking die any minute.
Oh my God, dude.
I use this thing called launch control. Every manufacturer has a version of launch control, thrust mode. It's the same theory as the drag race. You rev the car up to like 5-6 grand. You put it in a setting. You got your foot on the brake, and when you release it, all the power goes to the wheels. So I did this in a Lamborghini. The first time I used thrust mode was a Lamborghini Gallardo, a Superleggera, and it was violent when I did it for the first time. And the first time I did it was on camera. I thought I dropped the transmission and lost a kidney. It just shot me. Wow. And I didn't lift. I kept my foot in this thing because that was what we had to do. That was see how fast we can go on a runway. So I kept my foot in it. So, and you'll see if everyone ever have seen that episode, I'm shifting like this, Paul. Fuck, because it's just throwing me back.
So when you said, I want to, for anybody listening to, like, I'm definitely, I don't have the knowledge that you have.
Sure, go ahead.
So when you say the air goes underneath, is that why some of the Formula One cars take flight?
You catch air and it picks you up. I mean, those big tails are supposed to create downforce to keep the car down. You know, these things they're bullets. They're moving through the air. They got front diffusers.
Scary because it's like because if the air gets, and it also means if they don't design the car properly, like they have to make sure, because I went to a Formula One race. I went to one in Montreal, the one in Montreal that they did. Right. And dude, these things going by you, And like
Yes.
the way that they're turning, it's like you're just like the roar of it, like it like rumbles your chest, and you're going like, how is this is unbelievable, man.
Yeah. I got a bit in my act. I waved the flag at a NASCAR race. So I'm down in Charlotte.
Oh.
I'm up in that little, if you see it, you go up the ladder and you're like, you see a
Yes.
bathtub that's hanging over the track. It's like the game Mousetrap. I'm standing there. It's
Yes,
me,
I
my
remember
wife,
that.
and the two guys from the track, right? And those cars, they're coming around that turn at like 180 miles an hour. And everyone's looking at you. So not only do I have the car energy, I got the TV cameras on me. I got everyone looking at me. Everyone in the South looking at me going, he talks funny. So there's all kind of energy coming at me. I wave the flag and those cars just, whoo, whoo, whoo. You feel it. You feel the heat coming towards you. Your balls hum. I'm like, oh, that's why everyone's coming to this. It was fucking amazing. And then you go and see it. And these guys are so dialed in. They're just, it's like, they're
hitting turns at 180.
They're coming out of the turn. They hit the gas like 180. They're this far from the fucking, from the wall. It's amazing.
I saw this thing. If you ever see, for anybody who likes these race things, they did a movie about Dale Earnhardt Sr.
Mm-hmm.
Rest his soul. And
right.
When he would have Dale Earnhardt, there's like a thing in the movie where he would just be talking to his girlfriend, and he would have his son, and he was little at the time. Dale Jr. was just a little boy, and he would be in a go-kart, and his dad would go, all right, man, go around. And his dad would make him fly around the turn, but go in between him as he was talking with some. So as he would just be talking, he made him go next to him. So he's just a little kid, and you're like, oh my, how is he allowing? But that he was training him.
Yeah.
To like be able to to hit those things going fast, and he was scared to do it. And he's like, no, don't hit me, but come through here. And it's like, wow, man, like it's really amazing that like you can drive a car at a level of a professional. Like we tell jokes professionally, we tell stories, we're funny professionally. I was at the Knicks game last night. Those guys played basketball professionally. To drive a car professionally, oh, you're going to get a kick out of this. I went to the Grand Prix in Mount Kisco,
right,
in Westchester, and it's like not a professional, but it's the go-kart, but on a high level. Mm-hmm. Like they designed these tracks, and they could actually make the thing go like up high.
Yeah, and banks, turns, and everything.
So the guy goes, look, he goes, wait till everybody, the guy knew me. He goes, wait till everybody leaves, the place closes down. I'm going to let you and your party. There was like 8 of us, including my son and his friends. Mm-hmm. And he goes, when everything closes down, come back. Okay. Come back. I probably shouldn't have said the name of the place, but it doesn't matter.
That's all right.
So, anyway, the people start leaving. He goes, oh, come in before the door's locked. Let's go, dude. We're going around this thing. And I had a buddy of mine who's a cop, and he took it real seriously. He's trying to pass everybody. I'm going now. I start going fast. When I left, I got my son in the car. When I drove home, I start driving my car like I'm in a go-kart. Like I started, because I'm like, oh my God, like this is like, I know there are rules. Like here, there are rules where but I was so used to whipping around and seeing what this thing could do that I'm going, what can my Lexus do, man? Like, I want to know. It's unbelievable, man. It's so fun what a car can do. But I can't believe that somebody at a level, somebody can drive it professionally like that.
Yeah, I see those guys. I am not one of those guys. I know enough to get me killed, but I know I can see and appreciate how hard it is to do because I've done it on the show. I'll tell you a story. We had a lemons race in San Francisco, which means you buy a piece of shit car. The 3 of us would take turns racing, and this is this guy's day. People do this all the time. It's called lemon race. You get
wait. You guys all bought pieces of shit.
No, we had one piece of shit car, and the 3 of us took turns driving.
Got it.
That's what the lemon race is, and it's fun. Some make them pirate ships, some make them dragons. It's so. But people take them seriously. They put money into it, and these are guys that want to amateur people that want to race and have fun. And we're just doing a dopey TV show. Right. So I'm coming around. I'm talking to the camera. I'm in the car. I'm racing, and I'm coming, and I see the pocket. That pocket to hit where I can get in and rub the guy next to me in the turn, and I can pass him on the inside, and I'll probably end up rubbing him, but I'll be able, when I hit the apex and come out, I'll be able to make up a lap, make up some time and move up a position. It was an older dude who I passed before driving it. in a Volkswagen microbus. He was driving a microbus. So I come in, I see the pocket, and as I'm coming in, I lifted, which means I took my foot off the gas because I didn't want to spin him out, because I would have come in and spun him out. And I get back to the pit and we change drivers, take my helmet off, and I'm kicking myself, Paulie. I'm kicking myself. And Rutledge Wood, who's on the show with me, goes, "What's the matter?" I said, "Fuck, I saw the pocket. I went in, I was all ready to do it, but I realized I'm gonna wreck this guy and he's gonna ruin his whole fucking day." But I lost us time. I had an opportunity to make up time and I didn't. And Rut looks at me and goes, "Stop it. Stop beating yourself up." I go, "Why?" He goes, "You're not a race car driver.
Yeah.
You don't have that killer instinct."
Right.
Tanner Faust, who's a race car driver, went in the car after me. He goes, didn't think twice and spun the guy out. So he did. He spun the guy out.
You just didn't want to ruin the guy's day.
I didn't want to ruin the guy's day, wreck the car. I mean, I was thinking of all other things. I wasn't focused on winning. That's what I have to do. Lock my focus in. I wasn't thinking about hitting my father, Dale Sr., by doing it, just doing it. Fear did not creep in.
Right. Now, when
these guys are that focused.
When you let up, when you said you let up off the thing, how fast were you going when you could have hit him?
It wasn't that fast. What was I going, 50, 60 miles an hour? It wasn't.
And how many cars are on the track during that?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of cars going all around. I mean, there had to be, I don't know, 20, 30 cars,
Okay, so this is an annual tradition.
Yeah, it's a lemons race. Anybody knows what a lemons race is. You get a piece of shit car, you get your friends, you race, and things blow up, and but guys take it seriously.
But anybody could do it. I could do it.
Yeah, you could do it. I did it. Yeah, you could do it. You get a car, you get a team, you pay the fee. Your car has to meet certain criteria, and then you go and do it. We had a piece of shit police car.
Oh,
we had an old Crown Vic, a P71 Crown Vic.
How many episodes of that show did you guys do?
75, 76, something.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, about 6 years. It was the time of my life, Paul. I've been so lucky in TV and to be surrounded, going back to good people and being able to not recognize, but enjoying the company of fellow artists and comics. I mean, I see you. That's a big smile. I hug your face. Hey, how are you? I'm proud of your success. I know how hard you work, and you got a family and everything. So I know what the grind is. But even like TV shows I've been on, there's been a sense of family that makes what we do for a living that much more enjoyable. I mean, this is our job, but when it becomes fun, and you get the opportunity to do it, that's where gratitude comes from. And you have to be able to recognize how lucky you are, and that helps with the depression. Like those guys on Top Gear, I still talk to them. Rutt was on the pregame for the Super Bowl. Sent him a text. I go, "I'm so happy to see you, you ugly fuck." Just
yeah.
But that helps with the depression, and that helps with me anyway. Is seeing the appreciation, or just seeing the beauty in the world. And like you said, it happens as we get older in life. There's a breathing element of life. I think when we're younger, we go out to get. Go get them. Why do you think guys in the infantry are 18, 19 years old? It's just honest that you guys take that hill, They don't want you thinking twice.
Yeah.
They don't want you having a kid going, "I got a kid, you guys go,"
Yeah. That's you got some gung-ho 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-olds want to give me a gun.
"I'm going to die for the cause." Yes, you are. So bring me my slippers. This guy's going to die for the cause.
He said, give me my gun, I'll kill everybody. Show you.
Yeah. That's good. Go get him, killer.
Guy just finished watching Rambo 3. He's like, that's
his identity is this warrior. Go be a warrior. Yeah.
You're right though, man. Like an 18, 19, 20-year-old that wants to go too. Like I want them fighting for this country.
Yeah, God bless you. You want me on that wall. Go sit on the wall. I'll be in the living room.
No, you're right though. I think the evolution of you as a person too. It's like, I remember I was at the Montreal Comedy Festival and we're standing outside was a Club Soda or one of those places. And I remember I had a cigar and Big J Okerson was smoking a cigarette and he said something, we were both talking. It's like, people never look at what they did. They always look at what they want. They never look at what they accomplished. Like if you look back at anybody, this goes for anything, any job, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're a mailman or if whatever. If you look back and you just go, wow, you know what? I put years in. I'm good at what I do. The people around me like working with me. I've achieved some things I wanted to achieve, whether it would be a promotion or whether in comedy it would be getting that acting gig or doing a special or doing those things. And if you look back at what you did and go, wow, that's pretty cool. And you just have blinders on. See, that's the other thing. I don't worry about what anybody else does. I used to.
Yeah, me too.
I would watch. I remember one time I told a story before. I remember watching somebody on the Tonight Show while on the phone, my manager going, why aren't I on Tonight? While the guy was doing his set, I'm going, what the fuck am I? And I'm going, well, wait a minute. That guy's path is not my path. That guy's life is that guy. And God bless that guy for getting that, you know? It's like this. It's like, if I have blinders on and I'm running my race and I do the things, like I realize that I'm really my only opponent is me. Rich Voss told me that one time. I'll never forget. I was at the Stress. This is years ago. I was at the Stress Factory in New Brunswick and Bonnie was there with him. And Bonnie said, Rich is in the green room. He wants to talk to you. I was like, all right, whatever that fucking means, you know? So I go back there and, you know, he's joking around. How you think you did? You know, joking, right? And then he says, he goes, listen, he goes, in all seriousness, he goes, all you guys coming up here, you all think you're competing with each other. And he goes, you're not, you're competing with yourself. He goes, I've done any TV show. I've done all it is. It's like, I don't know if you golf, but it's like, just get your golf game lower. Just get your score lower for you. Yeah. And I realized when I got more happy and I didn't worry about things like that, because it wasn't an acceptance thing. It wasn't a personal thing. It wasn't like a personal, like, well, we don't like Paul Virzi and he's not getting that show because this is personal. No. It was, maybe at the time I'm not right for that show. Maybe they had their eye on somebody else. How about this? Maybe I wasn't good enough at the time. How about, and I've learned to understand that. Like when people are like, oh, sometimes you get things late. Yes, you do. The late great Patrice O'Neill, rest his soul. He said, sometimes you get things 3 years after you were supposed to, and then you don't care when you get it. That's true. But then there's also, sometimes you weren't. I remember going, hey, you know what? That booker shouldn't have looked at me then, because I'm way better. I'm way better now. I'm way better of a comedian now. So now if you looked at me and then you didn't get the show, then I would have a reason to say, go fuck yourself. But back then I didn't. And I just realized that, man, it's like when it's your time, and running your race and staying patient, man. And really just, and once I did that, man, everything opened up for me, man.
Yeah. Well, what you said, there's two things that resonated with me when you said that Big J said, people don't look at what they have, they don't look at what they did, they look at what they still want. What I wanted was, I wanted the great success and healing, and things are better now, the when then bet of fame. You know, when I get there, then I'll be happy. So that's why it doesn't work. That's why you don't look at what you've done, because it's not satisfying something. It's not designed to satisfy.
Right. Yeah, I remember
success is not designed to make your problems go away. You got $5, you got $5 problems. You got $5 million, you got $5 million problems. How do you fucking deal with them?
It's so true. It's like, I remember when like Sherrod Small and those guys were like talking heads on Best Week Ever. And I'm going, God, if I could get that. I'm going,
why can't I be on Best Week Ever?
If I could be a talking head on Best Week Ever, talking about, you know, something.
That's all I want.
And I would be like, how come these comics, like, that's not enough? And it's like, oh, I get it. It's like this thing that you keep feeding. But I also realize now that fame and money should come from, fame and money should be a byproduct of being great. Don't even think of the fame and money. Like the fame and money, if you're just really good at what you do, all of that's going to come. But if you focus on what you love and why you're doing it, then that's the thing.
Yeah. Every rich and famous guy is going to tell you, better to be rich. Fame is a pain in the ass. Yeah. I would rather have the money.
Yeah.
Give me the money. I'll tell you what, do me a favor. 2 orders of money, hold the fame. That's it.
Yeah, man. And, you know, now, like, you know, having a family and going out, I was just like, man, last night we went to the Knicks game as a family. We went to this really amazing steakhouse all together before we went to the game. And I was just like, man, this is it, man. Like, this is it. Like,
That's it.
Anything else, if my family is healthy and everybody's good and we're enjoying things, you know, what else, man? And listen, sounds corny, sounds sappy, but you know something, all the corny things are corny for a reason, man. That they're sappy for, there's a reason why.
This is what it is. I'm stirring my coffee. It is what it is.
It is what it is, man. There's a reason why. You know why all motivational speakers kind of say the same thing? Because that's kind of what made them successful.
Yeah, it fucking works.
Every book of a Fortune 500 CEO that writes, everybody that's successful, they all say the same shit. It's stay away from negative people. Don't listen to naysayers. You know, push through hard time. All of the things that it seems so easy. Yes, we know. Me and Burr were making fun of it on the other podcast. I do the Anything Better podcast, sports podcast, because some guys are a little corny with it. They're like, you wake up. I know that bed is warm. Get out of it. You know, and it's just like, okay, I get it. But as far as like really kind of, if you look at the blueprint of what successful people are saying, it is kind of the same. That blueprint is designed for a reason. It's the same.
Yeah. I'll give you this thing. The blueprint is the same. The plans are the same. Find out what's keeping you from engaging in it. That's the thing I found.
Yes.
What's keeping me from keeping the success, abundance, success, happy, gratitude. There's something spinning in here that's keeping me. Take responsibility to find out why you're not connecting with that force, energy, God, source, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Because it's all in your control. There's the whole thing when you go to the inner child and shit, all that stuff, all the wounds we've had before we reach the age of reason.
Yeah.
It thinks it's doing good. It's like playing a bad guy in a movie, Paulie. The bad guy don't know he's the bad guy. He thinks he's doing something for good.
Right.
So whatever's holding you back is for a fear that no longer exists, or a situation or a trauma that no longer is present, but the machine doesn't know it's over yet.
Dude, that's heavy what you just said. The bad guy doesn't know he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
That's fucking heavy, dude. Yeah, you're right. Because in his mind, he's just doing he's doing what bad guys do, but he doesn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. I had a buddy of mine, not a comic. I'm not going to mention his name. But he was reading the comments, and he was on the road, and you know what it's like when you're on the road, you're alone. You know, you got, and then that's when the ghosts come out. So it's 2:00 in the morning. The phone rings. What? You need bail money? He goes, fuck, dude. I'm reading the negative comments. He just had a special, right? Reading the negative. He goes, how do you fucking deal with it? I go, first of all, you don't read the negative comments, but you're reading them. I go, those guys are just negative. Don't take it personally. You're just next. You wandered into an asshole's orbit. That's it. That guy's going to be an asshole to the next guy.
Yeah.
So don't take it personally. He's an asshole. He wandered into the orbit of an asshole.
Yeah.
But you know, that's what keeps us like, if people like me, I take the people liking what I do is, they like me. If they don't like me, what's wrong with me? You know, it's that emotional,
I went through that
feeling that doesn't pertain.
I went through that with my first special, and luckily it was like 98% positive, but then you'd see a couple of bad ones and you would go, and now I'm like,
that's the one you focus on.
You know who said it best? You know who said it best for everybody is Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish said this. She goes, man, there's so much negativity. And she goes, look, that means I'm touching them too. If they're going to go out of their way, if I'm doing something to you to make you actually have to take time out of your day, write something about me, whether negative or not, that means that you're thinking about me. I've done something. And I looked at it like, wow, you're beating that person either way. But I want to go back to something you said, because I was doing the Virzi effect last week. I was doing a solo episode, and after 7 minutes and 33 seconds, it cuts out for 20 something seconds. And I'm talking the whole time. So as I'm watching the recording, I just see, and the whole thing, and then it goes back. And one thing that got cut out, and I mentioned it, I did a little clip before the episode explaining to people. And they were going, man, I wish you were going to finish saying what you were saying about people scared, saying they want to do something and they don't. And this is what I was going to say. People are scared, Adam, So like when somebody, so my producer of this show, Andrew Themeles, he goes, man, he goes, villas in Italy right now. You can go to Italy and you could get a villa in the mountains, like 2,500 square foot pool in the mountains for like a decent price. And he goes, A, not many people know about it. And B, how many people go, man, I got to go to Italy. I want to go to Italy. But notice how they never do. And the reason why they never do, it's not money. There's a fear. People say things. They like to put things out and say they want to do, but they don't. They're afraid. People are afraid, man. It's easy to stay home. Oh yeah, we're going to go to Rome. And then one day, it's always the one. And one day we're going to go to Rome. Then we're going to go down to Sicily. Then, oh, but it's affordable next spring. Here's the thing, you know, and it's like, oh, you don't want to, people like their comfort zone. Sure. They're afraid. They do it with getting the new job that they're supposed to get because they could easily leave the uncomfortable situation that they're in now. They're afraid of upsetting somebody. So staying in this, you could talk all you want, but you're afraid. The reason why not everybody's going to Europe and doing these things is because they're just afraid to pull the trigger, dude. And I think that happens in life. And I really believe that that's the difference between successful people and non-successful people, is not necessarily the vacation, but that mentality of later, it's coming late, sooner. Don't worry. Maybe we'll do it now. Who knows? No. Forget later, sooner. If you want to do something, you got to pull the trigger. A lot of people, right? This kid, Tyler, funny kid, Tyler Horvath. He opens for me sometimes, and his dad works in a winery, a vineyard, and his dad does wine tasting, and he gives Tyler a bottle of wine. And Tyler goes, oh, this is a great one, man. I'll pick a good occasion to, and the dad goes, no, the occasion's now. Don't, these people are letting good bottles collect dust because they're waiting for this moment. And it's like, no, the moment is crack the bottle, pop the cork with somebody you love and pour a drink. That's the moment.
Yeah. It's the same thing we struggle with one day. It's a when then bet, and all salvation is in the future. And here's what I totally agree with you. Here's one thing you got to take action. I got notebooks all over the house of lists of shit I have to do, you know, but I'm more comfortable planning than doing. So what I figured out in my head is like, why? Because I don't understand. I don't know what it's going to be. I will keep myself back because I'm uncertain. So now I'm trying to be comfortable in the uncertainty. Uncertainty is where possibility exists.
Yeah.
And you have to have the courage to put yourself in the uncertainty. E.E. Cummings said, I'm going to quote the poem. Hopefully I get it right. Yes is the world where all other worlds exist. So you have to put yourself into that place. People don't, but they don't know that. A lot of people don't, they're scared, but they're not facing their fear. So that's why they shit on. That's why they're negative, because they don't want to take the risk.
Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or can't do it, you're right.
You're right. Yeah.
And that's to me, that's everything, because it's like, I've talked to so many people that have said, man, I was so afraid to lose my job. And when I did, all these great doors open. When I finally told my boss that I was being mistreated and disrespected, and all of a sudden, fine, a few months, I don't have a job. Now I'm in a situation I can't believe that I didn't do this sooner. And it's like, because fine, the uncertainty is a good thing. Embrace it.
But we don't know that. That's what, look, I got this beautiful little puppy now because I got a beautiful wife that knows better than me. I'll deny I fucking said that. Where'd you go? Your mic went out again.
Hold on a second.
There it is. You're back now.
I'm back?
I'm back. You're back.
Okay.
Now.
All right. Thank you for telling.
Sure.
So I was saying that you were right about the advice you gave before the first one. Now I'm doing my second one. It's coming out this spring called Nocturnal Admissions. And
Good.
now this is your fifth?
I think so. Yeah, I had 3 on Comedy Central. Yeah, fourth special.
This is your fourth special.
4th special, 6th album, I think, something like that.
Wow, man. So
it's called It's Scary in Here. It's free on YouTube. I sent you a link. Check it out. We did it at Gotham. We did it at Mazzilli's place. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I loved how great are the Mazzillis?
Oh, and a great car guy. He's a Corvette guy, Chris.
I know Chris is a Corvette guy. I love that play. What I love about them is they just hired ex-NYPD detectives to just patrol the room. Like their whole thing at Gotham is if the show's going good and somebody disrupts it, throw them out head first. There's just like you just got guys like this. Yeah. It's the best. I love those guys. They're really
Did I ever tell you this story? Remember, you probably never played this club. There's a little club in Brooklyn called Toppers.
No, I played Pips once.
Yeah, Pips. All right, but Toppers was on Cropsey Avenue, right?
All right.
So I'm opening for a hypnotist, and the guy couldn't put anybody under. Paulie, he's waving the watch. No one's falling down.
Oh, my.
Rocky comes in the back in the green room. The green room was under the stairs. It was this Dr. Seuss looking door it was the boiler room. There was a boiler in there, a black and white TV, 2 chairs and an ashtray. That was the green room. I'm watching the Met game. He opens up and goes, "This guy sucks. I'm giving him the hook. Get out there." What? Get out there? I just did a half hour. I did everything. I got nothing left. You got to hypnotize people in Brooklyn. It's a 2-man job. One guy waves the watch. The other guy hit him with a fucking hammer. That's how you're going to put these people out.
Oh my God. He never hypnotized anybody.
Couldn't put anybody under.
That reminds me. I was on a cruise ship and I went to a magic show. Yeah. And I literally saw the magician. He took the balls, when he makes the balls go, I literally saw him just go like that. I was like, I could have done that. If you would have taught me 2 days before the show, I could have been in my cabin trying to figure that out. Just give me a top hat. It would have been the same. It was terrible. It was, a bad magician's worse than a bad comic because at least a bad comic, the joke might not be good with it, but a bad magician, you're just flat out lying to me.
You don't even take the time to practice. I don't want to see rehearsal.
Yeah.
He saw that fucking lady in half.
Oh, that's so your special is available free on YouTube for anybody. It's called
It's Scary in Here. Adam Ferrara, It's Scary in Here.
Adam Ferrara, It's Scary in Here, guys. So I saw the clip. I saw the clip that you put out when you were promoting it when you first put it out in the holidays, and just so funny, and the way you went back and forth with people's emotions and how they're scared.
The anxiety and depression.
The anxiety and depression bit is so funny and true, and it's so relatable. But the fact that you put light on it is really great. And it's always such a pleasure. Do you have any dates you want to plug?
I got I know I'm at Bananas, March 11th to 12th. All my tour dates are on adamferrara.com. The Adam Ferrara podcast, which Paul Virzi has been on as well, is out. Who did I just have on? Oh, Stevie Van Zandt was just on. He was great.
Oh, wow. That's a great one.
He was telling me about how the whole apartheid thing and how he left Springsteen's band. He was in the wilderness, and David Chase tracked him down to play. They wanted him to play Tony Soprano. And
wow.
Yeah, it's a great story. So yeah, Steve Van Zandt's been on. I had Glyn Johns, who produced the Beatles' Let It Be, who has the Disney documentary out. He's the guy with the glasses in that. He was a lot of fun too. Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top, bunch of comics on. Gabriel Iglesias, of course.
Make sure you check out Adam's podcast. It's such a great show with great guests. Guys, this weekend I will be at the Funny Bone in Syracuse, February 18th and 19th, 3 shows. And then I'm doing one night only, Pittsburgh Improv, one night only Thursday. Nice. Yeah, February 24th. And for all other dates like Tampa, Austin, Rhode Island, Buffalo, a bunch of new dates. Just go to paulvirzi.com and you can get all tickets at my website. Check out the Anything Better podcast with myself and Bill Burr. And please, guys, continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'll be back next week. Adam, you're the best, dude. I wish you the best. Guys, check out this guy's special. It's robbery that you could get it for free. It's robbery. You're putting a gun in his mouth.
Thank you, brother.
And I will see you guys next week. Take care.
Be well, be happy, my friend.